van. Going to get passport photos taken for our visa. Michael and I are working on some stuff today for the visa. I'm going to make this video about the partner visa process, everything that we have to do to get the partner visa, all the forms we have to fill out, everything that they want to know, and all of that stuff. This works. Are you ready to get your photo taken?
Yep.
Office works. All kinds of fun wrapped up into one. Do you know what that's from? Office Works was not that fun because they are not doing passport photos today. We're gonna go somewhere else and do it. Second Office Works. So we got our passport photos. We're at home now and I'm just gonna grab the forms. I started a notebook completely for this partner visa because there's just so much paperwork involved and so many forms to fill out that it's really handy to have a notebook. And in the first page of the notebook I have my checklist. Michael and I are using a lawyer for the partner visa. He sent us all the forms that we need to fill out and a checklist, copied his checklist into this so that I have everything in this one notebook. I'll put this up close so you guys can see it. There's a lot of stuff that we need. So I have to fill out 3 different forms and Michael has to fill out 1 form. And then on my forms, it goes into quite a lot of detail about my entire life pretty much. So I have 1 page dedicated to my travel history in the last 10 years, including every country I've been to and the dates that I traveled there. I have my employment history for my entire life, and I also have my address history for the last 10 years. So this is obviously a lot of information. So aside from the things that I just told you, we have 2 forms, and these forms are statements of our relationship, so people that know Michael and I as a couple, and they write about how they know us and what we're like as a couple, and then they have to sign a form showing that they swear that our relationship is genuine to their knowledge, and they attach a copy of their passport, and then they have to also sign a form, I believe, stating that they are aware that lying about our relationship is a criminal offense. So it's pretty hardcore and pretty intense. And then on my forms that I fill out, I also have to add in a personal reference, 2 personal references, and they have to be Australian citizens. So Michael and I met in September 2018. We started a serious relationship. May 11th is our anniversary of 2017. I was in Sydney for a couple months while we were dating, but after that we developed a lot of our relationship outside of the country. The other things that we have to have copies of our passports and birth certificates, and then Michael and I have to write a statement about our relationship, talking about where we met, how our relationship developed, current living situation, how we split household duties, how we support each other financially, physically, emotionally, and everything about our relationship. We have to have a joint bank account. We have to have photographs of us as a couple showing that we're socially accepted as a couple. So photographs of us out with friends, photographs of us, luckily I have a couple photographs of us from my sister's wedding, photographs of us from my family camping trip, stuff like that, and then also photographs of us with each other on our birthdays and holidays. We have to have joint invitations, proof of friends in common, evidence that we go out together on dates. We have to show a history of chatting over emails, Facebook, text messages, etc. Phone records showing that we talk on the phone regularly. Michael has to add me as a beneficiary on a superannuation, which is like a retirement fund. Cards from anniversaries and birthdays, evidence of joint purchases, confirmations of the flights that we've taken together. We have a lot of photos of our travels together. I take a lot of photos, so that's not a problem. And then we both have to get police checks. So Michael has to get a police check from Australia, and I have to apply for a police check from America. So my police check can take up to 6 months, but once it's done, they'll just send it over. The police check doesn't have to be finished before I lodge my visa, it just has to be in the process. We also have to register our relationship, which I recently discovered is actually a thing. I've never heard of this before, but in Australia you can register your relationship. Not the same as getting married, but it's telling the government that you're in a serious relationship, and that costs about $300, and we have to have different forms for that. So we also have to have certified copies of birth certificates, driver's license, There's like a whole different separate thing for that. And then aside from that, I also have to get a health check. So I have to get a complete physical to show that I'm in good health and I don't have any kind of like crazy diseases or anything like that. So that's everything that we need to do for the partner visa. We decided to go with a lawyer because when I started the process on my own, which is how I was planning on doing the visa application, just Michael and I doing it on our own, when I started to get into it, I realized it was going to be a lot more complicated than I originally thought. We haven't been in Australia the whole time, so we don't have evidence of us living together in Australia. We don't have lease agreements that go from one date to the next date to the next date. Like, we have a lot of periods where we don't have any lease agreements, like where we were staying with my family or when we were traveling. That makes it kind of hard. Our situation is just really not standard. It's not like I've been here on a working holiday visa the whole time and we've been staying here and it was just straightforward. It just wasn't like that. Because our situation, I feel like, is a little bit more complex, we decided to go with a lawyer to just make sure that everything gets filed properly and that we have everything that we need, because not only is the process extremely confusing, like really confusing, the way that they word the questions, it just sometimes doesn't really make sense. Because of that, we decided to go with a lawyer. It's been so helpful because I just call up the lawyer anytime we have questions and they've been so helpful. They just answer our questions right away. I can always get through to someone. Even though the lawyer is really expensive, which I'll get into the fees in a second, I think that the help that they give us is so valuable that it's worth the price of the lawyer. Yeah, now we can get into fees. So aside from the fees that I already mentioned, so things like the police check I think costs $80 each. The passport photos are like $15 each. I have to do a doctor's check, which will be like $200 I think. Registering the relationship is $250 or something dollars, like almost $300. On top of that, we have the actual cost of the visa, which is $7,100 and something dollars, so pretty much $7,200 for that. And then the cost of the lawyer, the one that we got, is $3,850. So all in all, the cost of the visa is going to be upwards of $12,000 Australian dollars. This is a lot of money. That's why we wanted to go with a lawyer as well, because if you file the application yourself and if you make a mistake and you don't get approved, then you don't get that money back. So for us, it was more worth it to just go with a lawyer, make sure we do everything right the first time, and just get this process done, because it's so much information and so much work to apply for this. I haven't been uploading videos regularly for the past week. Like, I haven't uploaded anything because I've been working on this visa every single day for at least like 1 to 2 hours a day. Sometimes I'd spend 8 hours a day working on this. It's so much work and so much like filling out forms and remembering things and researching things. I've just moved around a lot. I've traveled a lot. I've done a whole bunch of different things. I've had periods of unemployment, and I have to explain all of this to the government, like why my life is like this. So it's just a lot of work to put this all together. I'll just also quickly go over the whole visa process. I came into Australia on a tourist visa. Now that I'm on the tourist visa, it is a 3-month visa, so my visa will expire on August 10th, I think, and I have to have my partner visa application submitted before that. Then once the partner visa application is submitted, it can take up to 2 years to get approved. So during the time that I'm waiting for that, they'll put me on a bridging visa, which is a temporary visa that says basically I'm waiting for a permanent visa to be approved. Hello? Alright, sorry about that. I just had to take a phone call from Michael's mom, who's filling out one of the forms right now. After I submit the visa application, I have to do that before my tourist visa expires, and then I'll be put on a bridging visa while they decide whether they're going to approve my partner visa. The bridging visa allows me to apply for Medicare, to apply for work, so I'll be able to work, and then I'll be awaiting the decision on the partner visa. Once I hear back about the partner visa, I'll be approved for a temporary partner visa. So before they give you a permanent partner visa, they give you a temporary partner visa. So 2 years roughly after I get the bridging visa, then I will get the temporary partner visa. This temporary partner visa lasts for 2 more years, which means that during that time I still have all the rights that I had on the bridging visa. So I can work, I can have Medicare, I can live in Australia, I can come and leave the country as much as I want to. And then 2 years after I get the temporary partner visa, the country will check up on us and make sure that we're still together, we're still living together, we're still in a stable, continuing, happy relationship. And once we provide proof that that is the case, so like joint bills and leases and stuff like that, then we'll submit that to the government and they will process a permanent partner visa, which will allow me to stay in Australia forever. And then eventually, of course, I'll be able to apply for permanent residency, and then I won't have to be on any visa anymore. I'll just have a permanent residency, which means that I can live in Australia. Someone's like doing construction outside, so I don't know if you can hear that, but Australia allows for dual citizenship, which means that I can be a citizen of Australia and the United States if I choose to do that. The United States also allows for dual citizenship, so to become a dual citizen, both countries have to allow for dual citizenship. I can potentially become an Australian citizen if I would like to, but that is a whole nother situation that involves a lot of research that I still have to do, and I have a lot of time to do that, so it's not really something that's on the forefront of my mind right now. There are a lot of pros and cons to becoming a dual citizen. Yeah, I hope this answers all the questions about the partner visa. I hope it was interesting. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments down below, and otherwise I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!